Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Garden 2020. So today we're going to be talking about germinating some cherry seeds. So some of the things that you're going to need are a paper towel, a piece of aluminum foil, a marker. You're going to need your cherry pits that have the seeds inside of them, and you're going to need some pliers of some sort, some kind of snipping pliers, and a Sharpie marker, and also a cup of water. And I put about a tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide in here, and that just helps sanitize your seeds, disinfects and everything, but it just diluting the peroxide with water won't harm your seeds. Okay, so we'll go to the cherry pits. So if you've eaten a cherry and you find this very hard center right here, this is the pit of a cherry, and it contains the seed. Now, you can't just plant the cherry pit. This is made so if a bird eats it, it protects the seed as it goes down its digestive system and comes out the other end, or any little animals that eat the seeds, and that protects the seed. But just taking it and planting it in the ground, more than likely the seed's going to rot inside it before it pops open. So we're going to need to get the seed out, and that is where our little snipping pliers come in handy. These are just some wire pliers. Anything really around the house that you use to snip that has a kind of a edge for snipping may work. So what I do is I find the little point of the cherry seed or a pit, and I take my snipping pliers and I'm going to try to grab it just enough and break that open. So I just put a little pressure and it split the pit. So what happens here, we get our fingers and we open it up, and this is still a tough booger even though it is split open. So there we go, and you can see right there the cherry seed has come out of the pit. So we take our seed and we're just gonna drop it in the water for a little while. You can let this sit overnight, or just a little while, a couple hours while you're doing this. So I have 4 more that I'm going to open up, and I'm not going to do that on the video, so I'll just go through and open them up and I will return very shortly. Okay guys, well, we're back. I have shelled or taken the cherry seeds out of the pits, and we have them ready to go onto our paper towel. Now I do recommend, I did 5 or 6 actually. So I recommend doing more than you need, because you never know, you may get a bad seed, might have damaged the seed while it's coming out and you didn't know it while we were taking it out. And then accidents happen. I mean, I had a whole tray of tomato seed starters that I left in the starter tray, and I did a stretch at work for a few days, and I was working 12-plus-hour days, and really they turned into 16-hour days, and I let the starter tray dry out too much and lost over probably 90% of my tomatoes. So always do a few more than what you need, and if you have a little cherry tree up and you don't have a place to put it, give it to a friend, share, and just spread the love. So the reason we have the paper towel and the foil is I use the paper towel method with the Ziploc bag usually to germinate seeds, but the cherries need a stratification period. So, and what I mean, the definition of stratified or stratification means these seeds have to go through a cool dormant phase or wintering, and before they will activate. So it's kind of a thing built into Mother Nature, where the seed falls down from the tree, goes through the animal, the pit comes off, the seed goes in the ground during the fall, winter time. It goes through the cool, dormant phase of the winter. Then when spring hits and the temperature warms up enough, boom, or actually prior to spring usually, it starts to germinate, and you know, you got a cherry tree starting to grow from the ground. So what we're going to do to simulate that, since it's June, is we're going to place these in the refrigerator. So no need to freeze them. You don't have to put them in the freezer. That's, you'll probably lose more seeds than you'll gain, and putting them through in the bottom of the refrigerator or back of the refrigerator somewhere is plenty sufficient. So what we're going to do is, I've got these in a little container here with our water in, and I just poured it in and took the seeds, and so they're in here. Get this off. So basically I just dropped them in on this paper towel, and I've got 6 of these. So I'm going to spread them out enough, because while they're in the refrigerator, when they get ready to go, they're going to go. And so they're going to start sprouting and growing little roots. So what we want to do is give them enough room for those little first sprouts, that little taproot, to really start. So I don't know if you can see that well, but I've got 6 of them on the paper towel. So I've kind of tried to spread them out as much as possible. And there we go. And if the roots get a little intertwined or tangled, you can carefully separate them. But for all intents, for all our purposes, we would like not to have that happen at all. So, and I'm just going to take and just pour a little water, just very lightly sprinkle it over. And you can use a spray bottle or a spoon, whatever you want. You don't want it just sopping wet, but you want it damp, and you want it very damp, so the seeds they'll pull in that moisture. And you just don't want them sitting in a puddle. And I used the water that had the peroxide in it, just to keep any mold, mildew, fungus, anything from growing, even though it will be in a refrigerated environment. If you've ever left anything in the refrigerator too long, you can get some mold or whatever, and the peroxide just it helps disinfect the areas from that. So I think we've got it. So what we're going to do now is just fold this over, and bada bing, take and fold this one, and my foil may not quite be large enough, but it's okay. I think we'll be fine. Oh yeah. So there we go. And don't be skimpy on the foil like I was. So alright. So then we're gonna fold this over, fold this edge over here. So there we go. We've got a nice little flat foil packet, and have our handy dandy Sharpie marker. So what I'm gonna do is write down today's date. Now I think it's Sunday the 13th. So June 13, and I'm going to go in and write the year. Hopefully I don't forget about it. But so I wrote June 13th on one side, and 6/13/21 on the other, and I'm going to write cherry seeds. So we got 6. Write that on the other side. Cherry seeds. Just in case I go to do something else that needs to be stratified. So here we go. 6/13/21. We got 6 cherry seeds. So I wrote the date on here. It'll take them a couple of months before they start to activate, a simulated winter. And I will keep a check I'll check them probably at the end of July. I may check them a little more frequently than that, just unfold the corner to make sure there's enough moisture in here. Being that they're going in the fridge, probably won't have an issue with them drying out, but you never can be too careful. So you could also place this in a Ziploc bag, which I might do, and that'll just help hold in the moisture so they don't dry out. but we'll put them in the refrigerator, and in about 2 to 3 months, hopefully we can open them up. I'm thinking end of middle of July, middle to end of July, 1st of August. And if we've got some sprouts, we'll put them in some little starter cups, and hopefully we'll have some cherry trees, little saplings, going into the fall. And we'll have to buy another little grow lamp to keep them in the garage so they can get light and stay warm enough that they can overwinter. So anywho, this is where we're at today, how to germinate a cherry seed, and we're gonna go place this in the fridge. We'll do an update in a few months on the cherry germination video, and hopefully we have 6, probably a few less, but hopefully we have at least 6 sprouts, and we'll go from there and work on getting them in the ground. I'm going to take these husks from the pits and go add them to our compost or our worm bin, and that's it. Well, you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in for this first part of the video, and y'all be safe and keep on digging it.